Welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're going deep into AI, artificial intelligence, a world that's changing faster than we can say algorithm. You sent over a fascinating mix of sources this time.
Right.
News articles, expert interviews, even some whispers from the venture capital world.
Where AI is all the rage.
It is.
Yeah, and what's really interesting to me is how these sources give us these global perspectives.
Oh, yeah.
East meets West.
Yeah.
How AI could shape the future.
It's like having a front row seat to this technological revolution that's happening.
But it is.
Right.
Totally.
Okay, let's jump in.
Yeah, let's do it.
One of the most striking things that I saw in the sources is this idea of AI superpowers,
Yeah.
particularly the rise of AI in China.
Yeah, Kai-Fu Lee, I mean, he's a true heavyweight in the AI world.
For sure.
Presents this compelling argument about China. He sees China not just as a player in the AI game, but potentially as a leader.
Wow.
Maybe even surpassing Silicon Valley in AI development.
That's a bold claim. He's not just talking the talk either.
Yeah.
He's backing it up with action.
Yeah, he's backing over 140 AI startups in Beijing.
That's a lot.
I mean, that's serious commitment.
It is.
And the speed at which China is embracing AI is breathtaking. You take the company Face++, for example.
Okay.
They're using AI for facial recognition in ways that are already deeply embedded in Chinese society.
It's like stepping into a science fiction novel. Imagine walking down the street and having your face scanned everywhere you go.
Right.
What's so fascinating and maybe a little unsettling is how they're using this technology not just for security, but also for things like personalizing education.
Right.
Like imagine a classroom where AI is analyzing students' emotions to tailor the learning experience.
Yeah, it makes you think about the trade-offs we're willing to make for this convenience and efficiency in this AI-driven world.
Yeah, it's so interesting, too, how the sources highlight this clear difference in attitude toward data privacy between China and the West.
Yeah, huge difference.
It's a cultural divide that's definitely worth exploring.
Oh, yeah.
But let's shift gears just for a moment.
Okay.
And talk about the technology itself.
Okay.
This idea of deep learning is at the heart of many of these advancements.
It is.
And it's where computers are learning from tons of data instead of being explicitly programmed.
Right, figuring out patterns.
Yeah.
Making decisions based on all this data that they've observed.
It's like teaching a child by showing them a million examples.
It is.
Rather than just giving them a textbook.
Yeah, and Face++ is actually a great example of that.
Okay.
Their system learns to recognize a gray suit. Not because somebody sat down and wrote code that specifically defined what a gray suit is,
Right.
but because it's seen millions of images of gray suits and learned what the patterns are.
So it's not just about recognizing clothes, right? This deep learning thing has far-reaching implications.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I mean, the potential applications are mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Think about it. Deep learning is being used to analyze everything from protein structures, which could lead to medical breakthroughs, to financial markets predicting trends with accuracy we could have only dreamed of before.
So AI is getting smarter by the minute.
It is.
Which is exciting.
It's scary, but it's exciting.
It is, yeah. But what does this mean for us humans?
All right.
Kai-Fu Lee doesn't really sugarcoat it.
He doesn't.
He predicts that AI will displace 40% of jobs globally in the next 15 to 25 years.
That's a scary number.
It's a huge number.
It is.
And he points to specific jobs that he believes are the most vulnerable.
Yeah, drivers, chefs, waiters, all these roles that involve doing the same tasks over and over again or predictable patterns.
It makes you wonder, are any jobs safe?
It does.
And more importantly, what can people do to prepare for this massive disruption?
Right.
That's the question.
That's the million-dollar question.
It is.
And, you know, history has shown us that technological advancements lead to job displacement.
For sure.
But they also create new opportunities.
They do.
The challenge, and this is where it gets really interesting, is adapting to the speed of change that AI brings.
It's unlike anything we've seen before.
It is.
We're not just talking about shifting careers.
No.
We're talking about constantly evolving our skills to stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah, stay ahead of the machines.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not all doom and gloom.
No, it's not.
There's a real sense of optimism in these sources, too. Take Google's CEO, Sundar Pichai, for example. He believes that AI will be as good or as evil as we humans allow it to be.
Yeah, it's a powerful statement.
It is.
Emphasizing that the future of AI is not predetermined.
Right.
It's up to us. It hinges on our choices.
Our ethical framework.
Our ethical frameworks, exactly.
And how we decide to use this powerful technology.
Absolutely, how we harness its power.
Yeah, it's a reminder that we're not just passengers on this AI train.
Nope.
We're the engineers.
Who's built the train?
You're the conductors. And ultimately, we're responsible for steering it in the right direction.
We are.
Speaking of the incredible things that AI can do,
okay,
Google's Bard chatbot is a prime example.
Yeah, Bard's ability to summarize complex texts in seconds, write stories from just a simple prompt.
Yeah.
Even translate languages it wasn't trained for.
Right.
It's remarkable.
It's like it's tapping into this hidden well of human creativity.
Yeah.
But then there's the flip side, the hallucinations, where these chatbots confidently present made-up information as fact.
Yeah, and that's where the concern about misinformation comes in.
Right.
How do we tell truth from fiction in a world where AI can create content that's basically indistinguishable from reality?
Right.
It's a huge challenge.
Yeah, it's a challenge that we need to address head on.
We do.
It feels like we're opening Pandora's box, unleashing this incredibly powerful technology without fully grasping how to control it.
Totally.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, let's not.
Before we dive into the potential risks, let's take a closer look at some of the exciting things AI is already doing.
Yeah, speaking of pushing the boundaries of AI,
okay,
the work being done at DeepMind, a Google-owned company, is definitely worth exploring.
They're the ones behind those soccer-playing robots, right?
They are.
I mean, it's one thing for AI to write a poem.
Yeah.
But teaching robots to play sports? That's a whole other level.
What's fascinating is they weren't programmed with specific moves. They learned to play on their own.
Really?
Through trial and error.
Wow.
They developed strategies, learned how to pass, figured out how to block their opponents.
It's like watching kids on a playground, discovering the rules of a new game as they go along.
It is. And DeepMind isn't just about robots playing soccer. Their work on solving this protein folding problem is groundbreaking.
Right.
Their AI system, AlphaFold, analyzed this massive database of protein structures and learned to predict how proteins fold in 3D.
Wow.
A feat that could revolutionize medicine and drug discovery.
The mind boggles.
It really does.
What struck me is that even the experts at DeepMind admit they don't fully understand how these AI systems achieve these things.
Yeah, how'd they do that?
It's like they created something smarter than themselves, and they're still figuring out how it works.
It's kind of like parents watching their kid grow up and do things they never imagined possible, all the while wondering, where did they learn that?
That's a perfect analogy. And it leads to a crucial question.
Okay.
Where is all this leading us?
Right.
We're talking about artificial general intelligence, AGI.
AGI.
Machines that can think and reason like humans.
Yeah.
Maybe even surpass our intelligence.
Yeah. Are we headed there?
See that where we're headed?
That's the big question, right?
It is.
That's kind of looming over this whole discussion.
It really is. And it's a question without any easy answers.
No.
But the sources that we've explored, they offer some compelling food for thought.
They do.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Right.
We're talking about DeepMind's AlphaZero.
Okay.
This AI system that learned to play chess at a superhuman level.
Yeah.
Developing strategies that no human had ever thought of before.
Right. And what's remarkable is AlphaZero wasn't programmed with any chess knowledge.
No.
At all.
Wow.
It learned everything from scratch.
Yeah.
Just by playing millions of games against itself.
If AI can achieve this level of mastery in games, imagine what else it could do. Could it solve problems that have stumped humanity for centuries?
Right.
Like curing cancer or reversing climate change?
I mean, those are certainly possibilities that researchers are actively exploring. But with this potential comes a sense of unease, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The idea of AI becoming too powerful, too autonomous, even posing a threat to humanity is a very real concern.
It's a valid concern.
Yeah.
It highlights the need for us to carefully consider the ethical implications of AGI.
As we push the boundaries of AI, we need to make sure that we're not just creating smarter machines,
right,
but machines that are aligned with human values and goals.
Aligned with our values.
Yeah.
It's a delicate balance.
It is.
And it requires ongoing dialogue and collaboration between, scientists, ethicists, policymakers, and society as a whole.
So it's not just a tech issue.
It's a human issue.
It's a human issue.
Yeah.
This has been a fascinating exploration
Yes.
of the potential and pitfalls of AI.
For sure.
We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dives.
We have.
From China's AI boom to the mind-bending capabilities of deep learning.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
Exactly. Join us for the next part of our deep dive, where we'll explore how AI is shaping everything from healthcare to education to the job market.
Can't wait.
What it all means for you.
Looking forward to it.
Stay tuned.
Stay with us.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of AI.
Yeah, it's getting deep.
It is getting deep.
That's for sure.
When we left off, we were talking about the potential of AI to really disrupt everything.
Yeah.
From the job market to our understanding of what it means to be human.
Totally. We're exploring a real paradigm shift.
Yeah.
And one of the areas I think where it's most apparent is education.
Yeah, the sources that we've gathered really paint this fascinating picture of AI's potential to just revolutionize how we learn and teach.
Yeah, on the one hand, we see how AI can personalize learning.
Yeah.
Tailor educational content to individual needs and learning styles.
Right.
Like imagine a world where every student has access to a virtual tutor that can adapt to their strengths and weaknesses.
That's the dream, right?
It is.
This truly personalized learning experience that really maximizes every student's potential.
It is.
And it's not just science fiction anymore.
No.
Some of these ideas are actually being put into practice.
They are. Like, remember Kai-Fu Lee's project? To bring top-tier education to even the most remote corners of China through AI-powered virtual classrooms?
It's such a powerful example of how AI can really democratize access to quality education.
It is, but just like any powerful tool, there's potential downsides we've got to think about.
Of course. Yeah, it's not as simple as just throwing AI at the problem.
No.
And expecting everything to magically get better.
Right, it's not a magic bullet.
It's not.
One concern that comes up is AI perpetuating existing biases and inequalities in education. Because if the data used to train these AI systems is skewed, it could lead to some unfair outcomes.
Yeah, for certain groups of students.
Exactly. It's like building a house on a faulty foundation. No matter how beautiful the structure, it's going to be unstable.
Yeah, you've got to have a solid foundation.
You do.
And that's why it's so important to think about the data we use to train AI.
Yes, the data and the algorithms that drive these systems.
We need to ensure that these systems are fair, equitable, and accountable.
Accountable. Yeah, it's not just about making AI smarter.
Right.
It's about making it ethical.
It is. And this brings us to another potential pitfall.
Yeah.
The use of AI to spread misinformation.
Right. I mean, in an age where we're just bombarded with information all the time, AI can be this double-edged sword. On the one hand, it can help us sift through the noise and find what we need. But then on the other hand, it can be used to create and spread false information. With alarming speed and sophistication.
We're talking about deepfakes.
Deepfakes.
Fabricated news articles. Social media manipulation.
It's like the Wild West out there.
It is a digital Wild West.
It is.
And what's even more concerning is this technology is becoming more accessible.
Yeah, anybody can use it.
It's not just in the hands of governments and large corporations.
Right.
Anyone with a computer and an internet connection can potentially use AI to create and spread misinformation.
Scary thought.
It's a daunting challenge. How do we fight fire without getting burned ourselves?
Oh, right. It's a constant game of cat and mouse.
Yeah.
But it's a game we can't afford to lose.
We can't.
We need to invest in media literacy, critical thinking skills, and technologies that can help us detect this stuff.
Right. So we need to essentially debunk false information.
Absolutely.
It's like we're all becoming digital detectives in a way.
We are.
Trying to separate fact from fiction.
Yeah.
In a world where reality itself seems increasingly malleable.
Right.
But let's shift gears again. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's focus on the positive. The sources we've explored also highlight some really inspiring ways.
Yes.
That AI is being used to benefit society.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk about some of that good stuff.
Yeah, we see breakthroughs in medicine where AI is helping doctors diagnose diseases earlier, develop more effective treatments, advancements in material science, where AI is leading to these new materials with crazy properties. And then you see progress in environmental protection where it's being used to monitor ecosystems, predict natural disasters.
The potential for positive impact is massive.
It is.
And let's not forget about the everyday ways. AI is already making our lives better.
Yeah, totally.
From personalized recommendations on streaming services to smart assistants that can manage our schedules.
Yeah, I mean,
AI is becoming increasingly integrated into our everyday lives.
It's all around us.
It is. It's clear that AI is not some far-off futuristic fantasy.
It's here.
It's here. It's now.
It's now.
It's changing the world around us in these profound ways.
It is. But we got to remember it's not a magic bullet. Right?
Yeah.
We need to approach AI with both enthusiasm and caution, recognizing both its potential and its limitations.
So how do we ensure that AI is used for good?
Yeah, how do we do that?
That it benefits all of humanity and doesn't exacerbate existing inequalities or create new ones?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is a big question.
And it kind of takes us into this realm of, ethics and philosophy. And even what it means to be human.
That's where things start to get really interesting.
That's where it gets juicy.
It does. Yeah, we're no longer just talking about lines of code and algorithms.
Nope.
We're talking about values, principles, the kind of future we want to build.
The essence of humanity in a world that's, shaped by this artificial intelligence.
And speaking of pushing the boundaries of AI, our sources delve into this really fascinating and somewhat unsettling world of artificial general intelligence.
AGI.
AGI.
The idea of machines that can think and reason like humans.
Right. Maybe even surpass our cognitive abilities.
It's like something out of science fiction.
It is. It's been the imagination of sci-fi writers for decades.
Yeah.
But now it's starting to feel like a real possibility.
It does, doesn't it?
It really does. And the sources that we've gathered offer a range of perspectives on this.
Yeah.
The feasibility and implications of AGI. Some experts believe it's just a matter of time before we create machines that are smarter than us. While others argue that true human-level intelligence is fundamentally different from anything we can program into a computer.
It's a tough one.
It's a really interesting debate that raises all these questions about the nature of intelligence, consciousness, and even the future of our species.
Right. If we create machines that can think for themselves.
Right, and act independently, how do we ensure that their goals align with ours?
How do we know they're on our side?
Right. It's like this classic sci-fi trope of the robots turning on their creators.
It is, but with real-world stakes this time.
Right. It's not just a movie anymore.
Right, exactly.
This is a valid concern. It really highlights the need to think carefully about the ethical implications of AGI. As we continue to push the boundaries of AI, we need to make sure we're not just creating smarter machines.
Right.
But machines that are aligned with human values and goals.
Aligned with our values.
Yeah.
It's a delicate balance.
It's a really delicate balance.
It requires a lot of dialogue and collaboration between scientists and ethicists and policymakers.
Right.
And just society as a whole.
It's not just a tech issue.
It's a human issue.
It's a human issue.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a fascinating exploration.
It has.
Of the potential and pitfalls of AI.
A lot to think about.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
From the transformative power of deep learning to these ethical challenges of artificial general intelligence.
And we're just getting started.
And we've only just begun to scratch the surface.
We have.
Join us for the final part of our deep dive.
Yes.
Where we'll go even deeper into the implications of AI for the future of humanity.
Can't wait.
What it all means for you.
Looking forward to it.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to our deep dive into AI.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has.
Yeah.
We've explored AI's impact on education, its potential for both good and bad.
Right.
And even dipped our toes into the mind-blowing concept of artificial general intelligence.
AGI.
AGI.
Right.
And in this final part,
we're
going to tackle that question that's been kind of lurking in the back of our minds this whole time.
It has.
What does the future hold for AI?
Yeah.
And for humanity?
The big question.
It is the big question. And the sources we've been diving into, they don't shy away from it.
They don't.
They really grapple with the possibilities.
Yeah.
Both the exciting ones and the ones that...
keep you up at night.
Keep us up at night.
Yeah.
One of the most thought-provoking themes in these sources is this idea of AI surpassing human intelligence.
Yeah.
It's both exhilarating and terrifying.
It is a little bit of both.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like we're on the verge of creating something that could completely reshape the world as we know it.
Yeah.
But the question is,
right.
will it be a world we want to live in?
Right. That's where the ethical stuff comes in.
It does.
If we create machines that are smarter than us, how do we make sure that they share our values, our goals, our sense of right and wrong?
It's almost like we're trying to write a rule book for a game that we haven't even learned how to play yet.
Exactly.
But we can't afford to wait until the game is already in motion.
Right.
We need to be proactive in shaping this future of AI.
We do. We got to get ahead of it.
Not just reacting to whatever happens.
Yeah, be proactive, not reactive.
It's like building a bridge.
Okay.
You don't just start laying down bricks and hope for the best.
You need a plan.
Right.
Blueprint.
You need a blueprint.
You got to know what you're doing.
You got to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
A solid foundation.
Solid foundation. Yeah.
And a clear understanding of the forces at play.
And in the case of AI, the forces at play are
complex.
Really complex.
Yeah.
And so far-reaching.
We're talking about technologies that could reshape
everything.
Not just our economy.
Right.
And our society.
And our society, yeah.
But our understanding of what it means to be human.
Yeah, what does it even mean to be human anymore?
Right. It's a lot to wrap our heads around.
It is.
But one thing that really stuck with me from these sources is the emphasis on the human element in all of this. Even as we're talking about artificial intelligence.
Right.
It ultimately comes back to the question of what it means to be human.
What does it mean to be us?
Yeah, and the future of AI is not something that's just happening to us.
Oh.
It's something we're creating.
We're creating it.
We're shaping
it.
We're guiding.
We're guiding it.
It's this reminder that we're not just passive bystanders.
Nope.
In this technological revolution.
We're in the driver's seat.
We are.
Mostly.
We are the architects, the engineers, the storytellers.
Yeah,
we're writing the story.
And the story of AI is ultimately a story about us.
It is.
And that's what makes this conversation so important.
Yeah, it's a conversation we need to be having.
We got to have it.
Yeah.
Asking the tough questions.
Ask the tough questions.
Engaging with the ethical implications of all of this.
Yeah, and not just in, academic circles or tech labs.
It needs to be a broader conversation.
It needs to be everywhere.
Yeah, in our homes.
In our homes, yeah.
In our communities.
In our communities, in our everyday lives.
Yeah, in our public discourse.
Yeah, so. Because ultimately, the future of AI is not something that's going to be decided by algorithms or equations.
It's going to be decided by us.
It's going to be decided by the choices we make.
By us.
The values we uphold. And the vision we have for the world we want to create.
That's a good point. The vision we have for the world we want.
And that's a responsibility we all share.
We all share. It's not just on,
scientists and
engineers.
Policymakers.
It's on everybody.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of AI, let's leave our listeners with this thought.
Okay.
The future isn't predetermined.
No.
It's a tapestry that we're all weaving together.
We're all weaving it.
Thread by thread.
Thread by thread, yeah.
With every choice we make.
Every single choice.
And the choices we make about AI will have a big impact.
A huge impact.
On the world that we leave behind.
Yeah, for future generations.
For future generations.
And the big responsibility.
It is. Let's choose wisely.
Let's choose wisely.
Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey.
It's been fun.
Into the world of AI.
Yeah, I've learned a lot.
We hope this deep dive has given you some food for thought, sparked your curiosity, inspired you to engage in this really important conversation.
It's such an important conversation.
About the future of AI.
Yeah.
And its impact on humanity.
What it means for all of us.
Remember, the future is not something that happens to us. We make it, it's something we create together.
We do.
Let's make it a future worth striving for. Yeah.